got him. Boy, that came out quick like a goat. I about jumped right there. I wasn't ready. That is a ghost team.
He just got abducted. He just got abducted by a bunch of cowboys, too. Look at his hat and the plaid in here. Oh, my God. He's like, I came to the wrong room, guys.
Relax, buddy. You're good. Just
Relax. We just jump scared you. There's 8 dudes in here.
All the way down. Pound your head. You're going to be all right, okay?
I like you to reassure him. You're going to be okay, buddy. Don't worry. We're not going to murder you like you probably thought when that door opened.
And then I get a chance to ask him questions.
Oh, they take him in the next room. Oh, Chris is right. Oh, he still walks in the room, too. I was hoping he would walk in and be like, have a seat. And he just sits on the bed.
I'm going to have you move over to that bed. Just turn back around and look that way. Yeah.
God, I had to flex on him, man. Need you have a seat over there, buddy. Have a seat over there.
Yeah. Whoa. That's the Chris Hansen bed? Can you move, please?
Yeah, thanks for keeping it warm for me, all right?
I thought this was what this was.
You thought, what was this?
Like a sting, man.
Bro, so you pulled up.
You think it was a sting?
Well, he already knew. He already knew it was a sting. Weird that he still walked into it, but yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly, yeah.
He loves stings. You know, he's a big fan.
That's his favorite wrestler, Sting.
A lot of people say that. I knew it was a fake.
Bro, why would you come then?
I just went through it.
Can't walk away from him.
No, what she said was she was going to be 15 in December, but she's 14 now.
That's right. And then I was like,
Some people are just trying to make it about the kid. And be like, I'm just trying to make sure she was
People on
safe.
Birthdays? Wow. Crazy. So I was so confused. It's got to be a sting. I better go and investigate myself and see what's going on.
Let me get to the bottom of this.
One of the crimes committed here occurs in the chat. That's the first element of criminal
Got
activity. But you came here anyway.
I was just going to check.
Got him.
Just check it out, just check, make sure she's okay, having a birthday,
14, 15.
see where it goes. Oh, God.
Actually, I'm on my way to Home Depot, too.
You were on your way to Home Depot.
Oh,
What were you
okay.
going to do at Home Depot?
I think.
Buy paint.
I mean, that's what I told my wife, I was going to go buy some paint.
Right.
So I still got to get that before I go back, or I'm going to be in big trouble, y'all.
Yeah, I'll see you guys later, man. We can grab this paint.
I have heard no less than 100 times, probably 300 times in reality. I didn't mean it. I wasn't going to do anything.
It's sad that he has to go probably actually 300 times, because we did have 2 seasons. Or, they have more than that, but every house we plopped down, we had 100 dudes show up. It was crazy.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Just back to back. We ran a room in jail to put him.
If she was really 15, I was going to bounce, but
You were going to
if she
bounce.
was older than 18, I was probably going to ask, because she said she's I've never seen it before. I was going to ask her to see if I could see.
What? What?
Oh, he's just so calm about it, too. He's just it's mind-blowing.
Bro, I've never seen it. I had to, it's like a spectacle. I had to come and she said she does thing with ping pong balls too. It's crazy. I had to check it out.
What do you mean by
Oh God, Chris, come on.
Like a gym outside or whatever.
Just had to explain what that was.
Is that making the Squirtle noise? Do you hear that too?
Yeah.
Or something.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is that noise?
supposed to be painting today?
That's bad. That's what I want to know. What was he going to paint?
It was squeaky noise.
The outside of your house.
Yeah.
What color were you going to paint it?
Graphite charcoal.
Graphite charcoal.
Graphite charcoal. Is that a color?
Graphite?
Graphite Is graphite the same color as charcoal? They're two different. They're two different ones. Got him in the lie right there. Yeah. Which one is it gonna be, huh? Wow, who's gonna color the outside of their house that color anyway?
I mean, this guy, obviously, you're talking about somebody who's 32 years old and a corrections officer in a state prison.
Oh, he knows what happens. The dude's like him in jail. Oh no.
Wow.
Oh, when's he gonna start begging for his life? When's that happen? He's like, you can't put me in there, guys. Yeah, I know. Ooh. Especially those dudes I work with. Oh, they're gonna let him loose on him. Oh God, he's done.
If you can't tell right from wrong after monitoring inmates all day, every day, 40 plus hours a week, then what other example do you need to stay straight?
I don't know. I imagine you kind of get a warped sense of what's right and wrong being there all day with all the inmates. They have a different standard than people on the outside,
Right, and I'm sure they're in there trying to, wheel and deal, get a blind eye turned every now and then,
Yeah, they need that charcoal paint for in there so they can cover up the hole they're digging.
Yeah.
Do you live with anybody else?
My wife and kids.
No, okay.
And how old are your children?
10, no,
No.
9, 6, and 9, 7, and 8.
Yeah, well, you know, he doesn't know how old his kids are, and I'm starting to believe him a little bit more now because I also struggle with this sometimes. And Mary just can't, she cannot believe it every single time. She's like, how old are the kids? And I'm like, and I have to, like, it takes me that long to think about it. And she goes, well, you don't know. She's like mind blown every single time. And I'm like, sorry. I do know, but it takes me a minute.
So your oldest
I feel like I say some shit like
Yeah.
that.
the girl you were going to come see here today.
Huh?
Correct.
Right.
I know he said older, but it.
Oldest is 5 years younger. Oh, okay. Yeah. I got confused there. So he says it. Yeah.
Is 5 years older than the girl you were going to come see here
Yeah, good try captions. He said it wrong. And
Right.
Good try captions.
today.
The captions even confused the guy right
Yeah,
here.
he was
Look,
like,
yeah, yes.
And have you ever been in trouble before?
No, never.
Have you ever been caught by police before?
Nope.
Have you ever tried to solicit a girl who was underage before?
No.
So you just today.
Chris is getting like mad at him. He's like, so today, you just were like, well, today's the day. Here we go. Man's got over there got 4 cufflinks right now, whatever this is, buttons on there. He's about to backhand him with those things. Extra weights here at Jingle when he smacks him.
For real. And then his Fitbit's going to count it. It's exercise right there. You know what I mean?
Exactly what I was about to say. He's like, that's another step. Good job, Chris.
I really was going to ask her for proof of her ID or something, but
I've heard that story so many times, Mike.
no, I get it. I totally understand.
It's like, hey, yeah, I know, dude, but you know, I'm not going to admit to it. Like, what do you want me to say to you? Like, I know who you are, man. I've seen I've watched the Cinnamon Toast Kin channel. I've seen what you do.
Nothing shocks me anymore. The backstory, the kids,
geez.
the wife, the relationships. It's what I call the collateral damage.
You know, you see, are you
Space
looking
they
at
have playing the whole time in the background? This is too
Oh,
loud.
gee.
It's like,
look at this
right.
Pokemon he has.
Is that the music that
Kinda
Chris should be, like
crazy.
explain how the space works to me right now, but instead he's like talking about predators.
You heard?
Like Stranger Things, you know what I'm saying? I'm like waiting for the
Oh my God,
walls to like go inside out.
I do
Yeah.
appreciate though, like how he's.
Metagross.
I don't know if he's producing this or what, but he's like
oh, there you are.
he's not
Scared the shit out of
as
me.
TV safe
How'd
with his
you get
opinions
that
anymore.
all?
Like he's not. He's still like careful the way
Oh,
he is, but
yeah.
he's more like nothing surprises me more. Like these guys are just freaking. You know what? Are they, you know, he seems a little more
Oh,
let
sexy.
loose. But maybe that's just
Yeah.
at this point of his life. He's like, you kidding me?
There's a whole
There you go,
issue
that-
there
that's
with,
good.
you know, the spouse, the children coming to grips with this. And how is it possible that my father, my spouse would do this?
It's a big thing that you never really do think about. Like you watch these videos, you know, the guy's like, "Oh, I didn't do anything." You know, they seem like to really not care, but then the weight of everyone knowing about it afterwards is like so massive.
Yeah.
It's like, you figure that'd be like a deterrent from going to begin with. If like, you know, maybe it's a sting, and if it is a sting, I am going to ruin not only my life but probably my family's as well. Well, you know, she said she could do that thing.
Oh, no,
so I
no.
better go check and see how old she is. You know, like what?
Yeah. I mean, at that point,
Jeez.
dude, that just, I think that shows just how selfish these people are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they don't care about ruining the victim, their own family. Like, dude, this, tase him.
Selfish is how little they care. You know, it's just
Right, man.
yeah, it's disturbing, honestly, if you really think about it.
It's hard for me to believe, Mike, that this is your first rodeo.
I do like Chris's questions though. He's asking like we're actually skipping a lot of the questions he's saying because it's pretty graphic, and he's like making the dude like uncomfortable. Like he's just getting in there like, so you said this after she said this. How about that? And he's like, not the
What did you
receipts.
mean by that exactly?
Not the receipts, please.
So she was obviously telling the truth about where she was, who she was. It doesn't make sense that you would think that she was lying about her age.
Right.
He's like, bruh.
You caught me, Chris. What do you want me to say, man? You made me move beds and everything, dude. I'm flustered.
It's always they always get these guys that like have no idea like anything about the law, I guess, like or how it works, because like they said they Mirandized him at the beginning of this, part of that is he has a right to attorney or something. You know, he hasn't asked for one yet.
Yeah.
He's just in there getting grilled by Chris Hansen and just taking it. You know,
Yeah.
the dude.
And he is. Whew. This is all gonna be used against him.
Like it was just popping into Starbucks to get a cup of coffee. What does that say to you?
That's not why he went to Home Depot.
Oh man, we got Chris Hansen and Chris Swanson.
Oh my God. The
Heck
Chris
yeah.
combo, baby.
Combo. All right.
It's like addicts. They work, they have families, but they're always thinking about how to stay high, how to keep from being dope sick. That is their top focus.
Dang. All right. You know, I always kind of assumed that, you know, they were thirsty and they kind of were looking around where they should have been looking or something like that. But I mean, old Sheriff here probably knows more about than I do. He's probably got to do this stuff all the time.
Monsters among us.
Dang. All right. Oh, Chris Swanson here. You're monsters. Woo. If they go to this man's jail, if they're his correct, he's gonna make sure he puts them in the spot where they go get dealt with. Oh crap.
Yeah. You can correct it today.
Kill him.
Obviously, learned your lesson now.
You learned your lesson now.
Oh, he's learned his lesson. Yeah, I know now, guys. You know, you can let me go.
Now
you know?
I did.
Loud and clear, boys. Won't ever happen again. I'm just gonna go get my paint and get out of here. You know.
Would you have told anybody? Would you have taken pictures?
No.
Yeah.
I like that question though. Would you have told anybody? Who you sharing this info with?
Yeah, I would never. I wouldn't have told a soul, bro. Yeah. That's a good question.
No, that would be wrong, right? Okay to solicit a 14-year-old girl online, but the rest of it's wrong. Well, Mike, there's something you need to know.
Oh, the
I'm
reveal.
Chris Hansen.
I'm Chris Hansen. And we're
Yes.
Still do it.
Yes.
coming with the
They
camera.
still do it.
He's coming out the bathroom with the light in the camera, bro. Like, let's go.
That's why he's over here. Well, didn't this dude just like
Yeah, I thought he was there at the start,
he
right?
was there at the start. He was there.
I'm sorry for doing this. I'm sorry for doing this.
You're sorry for doing this.
No, it's starting to set in now. I think he's like, God dang, I'm just not getting out of here. Okay, it's
Right.
oh boy.
No, I've never done anything wrong before.
This is wrong, right?
Yeah.
It is.
I've never done
You
anything.
solicited an underage girl for sex, right?
He just, now he's like, yeah, I sure did. You know, he's the whole time he's been like, I didn't know. But then they keep asking him, and he just keeps saying, yes, I did it. Yeah, man, you were getting conversation kung fu just all over your head right now. Just patow, patow, patow.
Monitoring inmates, some of whom likely are in there for being predators.
Right.
And here you are, getting caught by me, being a predator.
Dun dun dun. Ah, jeez.
Wow. He was
Oh.
like, yep.
Yup.
That's me.
The next stop for you could be in the same prison where you used to work.
He's like, boy, I hope not. I ain't gonna make it out of there. Those guys know me. Jeez.
Used to
What
work,
do you think
buddy.
they're going to do to you if you go to prison?
What do you think they're gonna do, Mike? You have an idea, Mike. All right, you got an idea. All right, you've seen it.
Do you think they're going to like that? You know, they watch my shows in prison.
Flexing on me.
Oh,
They
now
watch me
he's
in there, you know?
threatening him, my man.
You know what? Yeah, they know me, all right?
Michael Lee Lott now faces at least 3 separate criminal
Very
charges.
man.
He's pleaded not guilty, but could face up to 20 years in prison.
Woo! All right, okay. Not
You like these or not?
guilty.
Not
Whatever.
Ooh, that's gonna be a
He's
hard one.
cool. He's cool. He's cool. He's nice up in the background.
I do like watching Will Tennyson too. Oh wait.
Today we've got some awesome stuff on Kick, guys. Some stuff that I really love. How about what if I told you that there was a bunch of pieces of shit on Kick acting like pieces of shit, doing bad things?
surprised.
What if I told you that 2 streamers joined an addiction meeting for content? What if I told you that, guys? A love addiction meeting for content.
I can't believe.
Back in 2020 and 2021, 2Mad used to join a bunch of Skype class and Zoom classes, and it's called Zoom. It's like a crime or
You know
some
2Mad?
shit. And he got away with it a bunch, and then now he's
Yeah.
he died this year, so unrelated, but
He
still,
sounds
I thought
very
it'd be
familiar.
Important to add that context. Now these fucking idiots are jumping into addiction meetings and streaming it live on their Kick channels. It's hard to tell who's talking in these clips. I think it's this guy Citrus pretending to be Osman Hernandez, and there's one other person that's trolling with them, going going by the name Sean Murphy. They join this AA Skype meeting, Zoom meeting, and chat immediately starts making jokes towards one of the girls in the meeting. By the way, someone who is enrolled in an addiction meeting. I don't know, like, if there's HIPAA laws that cover this type of stuff, but this should definitely not be televised without their consent. I assume. That's why I've blurred the faces of the people in this, and I'm exposing these idiots. Like, I don't understand why anyone would ever do this. It's fucking dumb. At 24 minutes into the stream, Sean Murphy starts trolling by talking about Jake Future, and you can just hear people laughing in the background.
SLAA is supported to stop Jake Future from good and to stop Adrian Sweater God.
The chat is just a bunch of people laughing, which makes sense. It's good quality content, guys. By 25 minutes in, they are removed from the Skype call, but Citrus is still in it.
Yo, Citrus, let's gamble. Yo, let's gamble. Let's gamble. Yo.
He's still in there. Citrus is still in there.
How did I get kicked? He's laughing because I got kicked.
How did you get kicked, bro?
If we swap to Citrus' stream, he calls her a bad bitch and around 13 minutes makes a comment on how she's a freak.
Oh, hold on.
Yes, yeah, what happened?
There's a bad in here. Oh my, hold on. I gotta go. Hold on. Oh my God.
Good, sounds good.
Join it. How you doing? Yo, she on my body.
How you doing?
Oh,
How's
she on
everyone's
my
day?
body.
Okay, that's pretty cool. At 19 minutes, they make a joke about one of the cameras needing to be turned off because he's getting in. Then he's removed from after that.
Hey, mister, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. Hey, Shells, can you please turn your camera off? I'm getting I've really been doing this stuff recently, and you're really getting me, like, in the mood, and I can't deal with it in the moment we're in. Please stop. Please turn it off.
Why? I mean, huh? Who makes content like this? I don't understand who these people are. This is like a new low for streaming. I thought streamers were pieces of shit already, just in general, but this is an absolute new low.
My higher power for AA for saving my life, a new life, a wonderful life, a much better way of thinking. My relationships have been restored with my family. I'm at peace today, and I'm gonna keep coming back. Thanks for letting me share.
Oh, I'm dead. I love it when people share their deepest, darkest secrets and their addictions, and we can troll on them for content. That's so hilarious. So genuinely hilarious, guys. So hilarious. That's so funny. Imagine struggling with your sobriety and then seeing these fucking idiots doing this. I mean, this has to be evil. It has to be illegal. I don't know what this is. Then they just laugh at the people in the meeting for like 20 minutes, and at 21 minutes, Citrus says the funny part was when the members talked about their addiction.
Let's wait till they introduce and tell them what, like, their addiction is. That's the funny part.
Yeah, like this is a new low. I really don't know how to even compartmentalize this in my mind. Is something like I'm at a loss. Really, I'm at a loss for words. These people should be destroyed. They shouldn't be allowed. Kick should not allow this. This absolutely should be against TOS. I think they've created a new rule. Are these the first people who have ever crashed an AA meeting, an addiction meeting? It doesn't seem like it's Citrus' first rodeo though, because the way he talks about it, it seems like it's a regular thing that he does. It's kind of his pastime, is being an evil piece of shit. And then after this, he goes and he gambles. He loves gambling. Then they join another meeting. This one is an AA meeting. Chad is still trolling with them and encouraging them to let them cook so they don't kicked out. That's about 25 minutes in.
It's AA? Okay.
Plane of inspiration. We will open the sharing portion of the meeting
I can text.
in a moment.
Oh, the sharing's about to start.
27 minutes in, our old buddy Sean Murphy starts trolling the meeting and making fun of some of the members, such as Cheezer's mom.
I have been sober off everything for the past maybe 3 days because unfortunately my girlfriend, her name unfortunately is Beyonce. She gave me a drink and I relapsed.
And then at 28 minutes, it seems like we have 4 people Skype or Zoom, whatever this is. Someone says that they relapsed on alcohol 30 minutes ago, and a response to that is hopefully you.
I just relapsed like 30 minutes ago. I thought maybe I could join here and find comfort between like-minded people like me. But if
Hopefully you die.
that was very rude. Could you kick him out, please?
And there's one lone soldier saying that Citrus is just being disrespectful, which is totally true. Chat saying people are yapping. Look at the chat. I fucking hate this so much, dude. They should be evaporated. They should be immolated. Voluntarily immolated, of course. I would never wish damage upon anyone ever in my life. I would never do that. Just in case you didn't think it could get any worse, 35 minutes in, Citrus lights up a joint, guys. He rolls a J in the meeting, visible to all the members who can see his camera.
The story,
Then Sean, our boy, tries to speak again and he gets fucking kicked.
Yeah, I just really quickly just
Yeah,
wanted to
bro.
make a statement. Debbie, that was beautiful. All I wanted to say was it just alcohol.
And then this happens. Guy starts telling a story and Citrus starts playing So What We Get Drunk, but only audible to his stream.
All right.
I just want to share a story with the group. We got a good amount of people in here, and the story is I got sober when I was
Oh my God.
That's so funny, dude. And then his chat goes on to encourage him to crash out because they're bored. They want to see him crash out because it's like dopamine. These people need dopamine. These are human rats or human rodents. They're
Subway
not
Surfers
actual
was
real
so much
people.
fun.
I don't know, they have to gamble and make fun of people who are
used to be
addicted
actually
to
really
alcohol
good.
and
I used to
drugs
be, like,
and
millions.
are
Yeah,
suffering.
I had a really
They
high
have to
score.
Make fun of people who are suffering.
power
Literally
level,
punching as
high
far
score.
down as you possibly can punch. Finally, at 40 minutes, Citrus, the fucking idiot, leaves to grab a bottle of alcohol and starts drinking on the stream, which is awesome. And he gets kicked and complains, "Why they kick me? Why they kick me?" And then they start gambling, guys.
driver license.
You know what game I used to give people high scores in? I remember. I thought it was cool.
I said,
You remember Knife It?
Yo!
Yeah, that game. I used to be like, they used to be like, bro, I want that sword. Can you get it for me? I'm like, I got you. In school, yeah. It was sick.
I hate smoking.
And then I just play on their account, and then there was a guy too I knew that would do that for Flappy Bird. You would go to him, and he would give you a high score on Flappy Bird.
Believe
He was
this
good.
is crazy. These are the worst
Really good.
people I think I've ever seen on Kick. This dude has 50,000 followers. He's on Twitter. He's on Instagram. He's got all this stuff. Actually, his Twitter is suspended, which is not surprising. Luckily, this dude is totally fucking irrelevant. This stream only got 2,000 views. It doesn't seem like this guy has too much of a future.
Oh,
The
gotcha.
most viewed thing he's ever done in his entire life is
For some reason, I
make
was just
fun
like,
of people.
Oh my God.
and
Oh my God.
me, which is
Oh my God.
you know, I don't really know. It's like a special spot in hell, I think, for you when you do something along those lines. I think. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know.
Oh my
I've been
God.
reading the Bible for that long, realistically speaking.
No.
But this seems like pure evil. This guy is an idiot.
Look at my stream.
Hi, my name's Sean. I'm newer to AA. I've been doing AA for about maybe. Can I continue? I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Go ahead.
It's just crazy, dude. It's just
Yeah.
actually crazy. Just actually crazy. Wipe these people off this platform, please. Please. I'm not for.
I'm not catching it
deplatforming.
till you
I'm
see it.
100% for deplatforming, actually.
I was looking at. I was
To be
all
honest,
right.
there is
Oh
zero good that is being
shit.
contributed to anything at all by these people. No entertainment. This is not entertainment.
Yo.
This is bad.
That
This is
nigga
stupid.
looks
This is wrong.
crazy.
Yeah.
This makes me feel gross even looking at it.
I'm gonna
and I
keep
feel like
going.
It should be a crime.
I want to get a good
You
IV
didn't
one.
even catch it?
No, I got bro. What?
The difference. You're well.
Oh, I was about to say.
Dude, what?
He caught it real fast.
Yeah.
Preamble.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and read it.
What was his IVs?
Ass.
Let me know down below. Holy shit. Thank
I
you
wanna
so
get a
much
better
for
one.
Contributing massively to the lives of others.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Yeah. I want to get like a good one.
You didn't have anything.
Oh, did the video end already?
Sigh.
That was a fast video.
Very short video.
Yeah. Let me see.
Guys, fuck off, please. That's me run through.
New YouTube rules will destroy channels.
Sorry. All right. Anyways. Firearms are an extremely polarizing topic in America today. I have none. I don't own any real guns. I only own airsoft. And I love airsoft.
You don't own an airsoft gun, well, it's a plastic gun that kind of bridges the gap between a Nerf gun and a semi-automatic rifle.
And firearms are especially polarizing after the events that transpired in Pennsylvania, guys. Remember what happened in Pennsylvania? Remember that? What happened in Pennsylvania? That guy got shot in the ear? I heard he was a convict. Is that true? I heard he was a cunt. Thank you to Fume for sponsoring this video. The flavored air category is quickly becoming the lenient alternative to vape. That you can peace. Fume Magnetic for sponsoring this video. Guns have always been a point of contention for America. I don't really care that much about how people feel about things in America, but YouTube specifically is where I make money. Okay, guys, it's my job, my full-time job. Sometimes I put my gun up here. I have a box of ammunition of airsoft BBs on my desk, and sometimes I'm worried about like what happens, you know, if YouTube decides to retroactively make things that I've been doing for years illegal or bad or whatever, and then I get in trouble because I don't want to do that. I don't want to get in trouble. I like my job. I'm incredibly grateful. YouTube has, under the radar, banned people from having gun or gun accessory sponsorships in their videos.
Hickok 45 and Son here. How y'all doing? Got some bad news today to share with you.
And this is like kind of really stupid in my opinion, and it's a huge deal for a lot of gun tubers, freak ass MFs like myself. I'm not a gun tuber, but I get looped in with that group a lot because I fraternize with them. And these gun tubers have a gigantic community on YouTube, and this has devastating implications for people who have made their entire careers and livelihoods by educationally displaying firearms on YouTube in a safe and respectful, reasonable, educative manner, like Hickok 45 or Forgotten Weapons, or I don't know.
Holy shit.
I mean, let's go down the list. There's a lot to learn, a lot of fun to have too. I mean, PSR, dude, come on, like this, it's a fun group. It's a fun group of folk. In a lot of ways, this is probably not that surprising to people because YouTube has a track record of just being completely out of touch with its user base, and they've made policy changes in the past that have hurt their relationships with their creators. This has happened a lot of different times. I, for example, have gotten strikes for stuff that wasn't a problem when it first came around and then became a problem, and then I got a strike. My Diddy video, dude, I won't let that go because they still haven't told me what the problem is. They still haven't told me why my video where they said nothing was wrong was taken down. I had a strike on my channel. If I would have gotten 2 more Diddy videos, so that's kind of scary. And on top of that, it could be viewed as a shift as to what YouTube wants on their platform. They don't want guns, it seemed like. They seem like they like family-friendly content. For example, educational breastfeeding videos. That's fun. You're telling me you can make that video? You can make an educational breastfeeding video and naked yoga educational video, but you can't actually educate someone about a weapon that was used in a historical event and then take a sponsorship from an ammunition company or like someone who makes
That's crazy.
We've been known that YouTube prefers family-friendly content in order to maintain good relations with advertisers ever since the first adpocalypse in 2017.
Inflammatory articles are posted about how major brands are being advertised on top of very vile YouTube videos. A bunch of advertisers fearing backlash removed their ads entirely from YouTube, and during this period, every YouTuber saw a decrease in revenue. But YouTube's been shifting more and more and more to just being kind of family friendly and white bread milk toast, like how Jordan Peterson feels about Elmo. Have you seen that clip? He's a milksop.
He's a cringing little milksop of a puppet.
It sort of feels like one day gun videos will be completely banned on YouTube because they're just sort of trying to choke it out. There's like, you can't make money, you can't get ads on your videos, you can't put a magazine in. For a little while, you couldn't screw on a suppressor. They counted that as modifying a weapon. Screwing on a suppressor was modifying a weapon, and you could get a strike for that. Putting a magazine in a gun, you could get a strike for that. It seems like they want to get them off the platform entirely, and as a person who likes freedom all around, I don't think that's a very good idea. In fact, I think that's a really, really, really bad idea. Because it's like, you're not allowed to say whatever you want. That's the First Amendment. And you're not allowed to show firearms or educate people as to how they work and safely use them and respect them and be aware of them because they are a part of the reality that we live in. Excuse me, sir, that's not very base. You're scaring me. Stop, please. You're scaring me.
1776 will commence again.
And all this goes beyond, by the way, not allowing sponsorships from gun companies. They also, on June 18th, passed a little micro bill. I guess, I don't really know what they would be called. A TOS update that prevents you from being able to show high-capacity magazines or bump stocks on YouTube. You're not allowed to do that. You also can't show belts, anything that carries more than 30 rounds. That's not allowed on the platform anymore. And this in turn means that a company that counts as a gun sponsorship violates the YouTube terms and is not allowed on the platform because they sell those things, basically. So a link on a YouTube video to a YouTube sponsor that has the banned items that can sell them and is potentially sponsoring a channel that might be showing them off or talking about guns in an educative manner, it's not allowed in the description. It's like the OnlyFans thing. Like, you can't link an OnlyFans directly, so people link a link tree that has the OnlyFans in it. This is where I get upset, because my second grandfather, basically, I would like to say, Hitcock45, ever heard of him? One of the most wholesome creators that has ever existed. A giant man. A huge man. One of the greatest YouTubers on the platform that has been on the platform for a very long time. Someone who is incredibly respectful. Someone who is awesome. Someone who is part of many people's childhoods and teenagerhoods and adulthoods that everybody loves. So Hitcock45 made a video talking about how this stuff is not allowed on YouTube anymore, and the fact that they had to delete a lot of their old videos with these previous sponsorships out of fear that this would cause them strikes and eventual termination.
Ooh, that's
of the
really good
channel,
IVs.
especially if they, you know, took a new one on without exactly knowing, because it's like a secret. They didn't say, hey guys, just to let you know, this is bad, so like, here's an example from your video that you're not going to be able to do anymore, but that's fine because it's grandfathered in. We rolled out the change, which didn't really affect anything, didn't hurt anybody up until now, but we're going to roll out the change now because we feel like it. Thanks, Grandpa! Or whatever. That's probably what they said. Seems like they just hate old dudes who like guns.
Prior to June 18th, the video itself is
It's
at
not
risk.
Shundo, is
Post
it?
June
Nah,
18th,
nah, nah, nah.
channel is at risk.
Almost.
And as you know, we have had sponsorships like that almost the entire time we have been doing this, so it pertains to probably 95% of our content.
Now, specifically for Hitcock's channel, a majority of his content is sponsored by these type of companies. It's a gun channel. They do gun stuff. So they take money from gun companies because they do gun stuff. That's how it works, dude. And with the way that YouTube's rules are set up, they are completely restricted to make money off platform. They cannot make money from YouTube's payment program, AdSense, nothing along those lines. There's no estimated revenue for them because they make content that is not monetizable. Realistically, Coca-Cola doesn't want to run an ad on a gun channel. I don't know why that is, because they run ads on like gun movies and people getting murdered and blown apart, and that guy getting for an entire episode of The Boys. Amazon loves that, but like, they don't like Grandpa Hitcock showing people how to shoot firearms into a ravine on YouTube. Very odd. I don't get it, to be honest. I think it's really dumb. It makes me a little bit mad, a little bit irate when I think about it too much, because I own a company. It's called Sour Boys. I don't really give a who likes the candy that I make. I don't care if it's near guns. I like it when people, human beings who exist in the same reality that I exist in, are eating the stuff that I'm making. I like that. And you'd think that companies would like people to buy their products, but no, they don't. They don't like people to buy their products. They like to draw imaginary lines in the sand that mean nothing, and also for no reason. But when they don't do it, they get in trouble. Nobody wants to sponsor gun tubers, guys, and I don't know why. I don't get it. Is it because people get killed by guns? Is that why? Is that why? I think that might be why. Which, that's fair, I guess, but like, I think there might be more to it. The worst part of all this is some people that I know, some friends, maybe even me, I'm not though, are firearm manufacturers who can legally manufacture firearms and make them. FFLs, you know, SOTs, all that type of cool or bad stuff, or whatever I'm supposed to say. I'm not sure. Those people wouldn't even be allowed to sponsor channels either. Or I don't understand the rules. It's insane. It is yet another instance where social media platforms are just making rules that are arbitrary and meaningless because they don't understand. They live in a bubble. And they have no respect for people who live outside of their bubble. And that's sad, and that's up, and I think that we should do something about it, which nothing will be done about it, unfortunately. But maybe, though. I have no idea, dude. I have no idea. It's sad, though. It's sad. The light from my eyes is fading fast, all right? The light from my eyes is fading fast, and the boogers in my nose no longer have flavor. or whatever. I think this policy is absolutely insane. A, because it doesn't make sense and they do shit like this all of the time, but also because it makes it impossible for some people, just a group of people on YouTube, to not be able to make money through their own videos or sponsors. And the people who are making guns and selling them or doing anything in regards to like 3D printing or all that stuff,
looks sick.
they're at even more of a risk. It's insane. I'm sure we'll see how far this new rule can be pushed, and I'm sure we might lose a channel or two or have a channel completely demonetized. It's happened before, guys. Everybody's gonna have to, all the gun guys are gonna have to move to Rumble when they don't even fit on Rumble. Rumble sucks. Rumble's not good. You comment, it's like, move to Rumble. No! Why don't we just make YouTube work? Why don't we just push back against YouTube? How about that? YouTube's awesome. YouTube's way better than Rumble. Just because there's like 5 idiots who make the rules for YouTube doesn't mean the rules can't be changed eventually, right? You know, we just have to be persistent and rational and reasonable and not run away to Rumble. Rumble sucks. Come on. Sneako's on Rumble. Come on, guys.
Yo, just the craziest thing about Sketch is I'm seeing everyone's like, Sketch is one of the most genuine dudes ever. He's genuinely, I don't know why it's the new Twitch word. He's genuinely one of the most genuine guys ever. No, he's not. He lied to you about his life.
So by that basis of logic, I would assume that Sneeko begins his relationships by telling people he lets his girlfriend.
This fucking dude, you look like the guy who shot Trump, you know?
So I would say let him know that this new policy change is stupid. Instead of just commenting on Hickok's video or whatever, send him a tweet. Let him know, man. There are people in the company of YouTube that like this type of stuff. For example, the gun guys have a representative, allegedly, I believe. I'm not exactly sure. So there is a level of listening. They have changed their rules before, things that are unreasonable. I do believe that we'll be able to kind of walk back out of this one, but I wanted to make a video on this because it's so illogical and it makes so little sense, and I want to know what you guys think of it, especially with how high the risks are. There are so many channels that do no wrong, and you know, YouTube allows ads, by the way, of just deep fakes of like Mr. Beast selling products that he's not even involved in. They just allow that shit. And also shitty mobile games that are just outright scams, and it's not a fair comparison, I guess, but they are literally allowing scams. And the gun tubers can't even take a sponsorship from a company that has a 31-round magazine. And as for how clear they are on those rules, they're not at all. It's very open to interpretation. YouTube say gun bad, no place on platform. But in reality, everybody can enjoy firearms. You don't, unless you're a felon. I guess. But like, jokes aside, most of the firearm videos on the platform are videos that show gun safety and like historical aspects of guns, how to have fun with them, and how not to be a absolute moron. Sure, there's outliers, there's entertainment content, as Lucas from T-Rex Arms would call it. I just don't think it's fair to have a giant policy that just targets a lot of really good people that are objectively good, that objectively do no wrong. It seems bad. Or something. There's probably a word for it. I don't know what that word would be, but there probably is. I remember back in the day when GunTubers first started, Hickok 45 was the first one I ever watched. I had this dumbass Oompaville intro that I made in Cinema 4D, and it was basically a total ripoff of Demolition Ranch's intro. It was Oompaville, and then I threw like, I had bullets hit it and it exploded. He had like a shotgun blast or something, but I made mine. And it looked like shit. You could tell that I made it when I was a small 16-year-old boy, 15-year-old boy, I'm not really sure. But I remember the days when you could just do whatever the fuck you wanted. FPS Russia, dude. Oh my God. Hello everybody. By the way, I've since been on PKA twice. I think maybe the first guest ever to go on PKA twice in 1 month, so that's a pretty big W, TBH. Around 2017, YouTube really started to push being more family friendly. I mentioned the adpocalypse. I was on YouTube kind of at the time. I was fucking tripping balls, but this was triggered originally by PewDiePie, who was the largest creator on the platform at the time. He posted a video where he paid people on Fiverr to make anti-Semitic jokes.
Damn.
And that
I think I've gotten like 200,000.
What
is it called? Stardust.
Numerous advertisers
Since starting.
pulled their ads from the
Only
platform,
like 30 minutes.
leaving many creators being demonetized. Most of my videos at the time were demonetized for no reason. It was annoying, but oh well. At that time, YouTube completely changed their policies without announcing it, and it left many small independent creators without funding and caused them to leave the site or, you know, do something.
I'm
go
still
get
not
real
even
jobs,
using
things
my
like that. It's the same shit that's
passes that I
happening now,
bought. They're
guys.
still
Like,
giving me
instead of
free
it just
ones.
being general small creators from gaming to whatever commentary, now it's just gun people, so less people give a shit. But I was mad then, and I'm mad now, because I like rules for me and for thee, not for thee, not for thee and not me. They also
Something
changed the
around that.
algorithm back in
More, I feel
2017
like.
in an article posted in the Google keyword. Google discussed that they were going to be changing everything so advertisers could come back to the platform. They discussed using their algorithm to not put advertisements on hate speech videos. Good, I guess, right? And also not recommend channels that have been flagged with that kind of hate speech content, which makes sense because I don't really think hate speech is that cool. Guns, though, that's not the same thing. That's not the same thing at all. And from this point on, YouTube would never be the same as a streaming platform. The website became more family friendly. You had ElsaGate. You had instantly people taking advantage of this. It was terrible. Then there were 3 more adpocalypse moments, I guess you could call them. These all following the first one in 2017. And each time they did more and more damage to different communities of creators and caused YouTube to push further and further towards becoming a corporate, family-friendly mouthpiece of Coca-Cola, which I don't care about. I don't care about huge brands like Coca-Cola. I don't mean to keep throwing. I do care about Dr. Pepper, to be honest, and 7-Up, just because I don't like 7-Up at all, but I care about Dr. Pepper. I don't really want to be beholden to corporate advertisers as to what I can put on a social media platform, and I wish there was an option, another option. People say, well, go to Rumble. No, Rumble's terrible. Rumble sucks. Kick sucks. YouTube is the top dog, and we just need to make it clear that we don't like it, all right? And keep using it. It seems like YouTube, through, I guess, what people would call end-stage capitalism and corporatism, are going to completely destroy the culture that made the website so popular when I was growing up and using it. And I still see it to some extent today, but now they're like, oh, you can't make money anymore, so you'll eventually die off. It's like a cancer, right? We're going to get rid of it slowly but surely. I miss the days when you could almost broadcast criminal activity. That's what I miss, guys. I miss the days when you could almost broadcast criminal activity. I think rules are good. Phew, I got a fucking shit, dude. My stomach hurts. I just blasted some shit out of my ass. For years, YouTube was a place where you could upload videos of yourself doing pretty much whatever you wanted. Obviously, there were restrictions. For example, you couldn't commit crimes or make meth or do porn or anything of that nature, like stuff that was on Live Leak, but you could do a lot. And this is what made YouTube such a popular
Oh my God, another one.
and why it blew up to be the largest video sharing website on the internet. It was a place where people could share memes, post news, and grow communities online, and reply to every single video with giant
Both
milk
bad
trucks.
IVs.
Remember that lady? Remember her? That was a different time on YouTube for sure. YouTube's had such a crazy heavy influence on internet culture.
I need,
and
you know, it's my
has
favorite
had
Pokemon. I
insane
need
reach,
dupes.
And as it's
You know what
grown in
I'm saying?
popularity, everything just gets ruined, dude. It just
Need
gets
a
so
couple
ruined.
I need a
I just
couple.
want to see stuff go back to the way it was. I just want to see people having
still
fun.
have
I want to
more
see people
raid
having
passes.
community. I feel like we're
the
at such
free
a place
ones.
now where everyone is so divided. I don't know if it's always like this, and it just feels like it's not because humans want to feel special all the time, and we're always just like, oh, this is the most downtrodden time to be alive. Everyone sucks and everyone hates each other. And so I feel like everybody's always kind of hated each other, probably, because like you go back, there were crusades and stuff. But simultaneously, YouTube seems to bring everybody together, and I wish that the TOS and rules would kind of reflect that a little bit more, because gun tubers aren't hurting anybody. Like, that's just a fact. Gun tubers aren't hurting anybody. Freak tubers, they're not hurting anybody.
Actually, by
Shut the
myself.
fuck up, please. For the love of God and all things holy. And this on top of the way that YouTube is currently trending with sort of small independent creators doing simple stuff, kind of being pushed out for people like Mr. Beast and the Mr. Beastification of YouTube, people who are making so much money that they're able to create essentially movie production companies and make a new movie every 2 weeks or whatever, and an hour, like, that's crazy. And this is just another rule that is making the pool of who's allowed to be a YouTuber, who's allowed to make content on the internet. It's just making that pool smaller and smaller and making it more and more corporate. And I don't like it, and I want them all to burn. Just kidding. Cut that part out. I want them all to see that there are people who don't want this, who don't like this, and they are reasonable people, and they're not hateful people, and they have no malice in their heart.
Yeah, I might just
Anyways, guys, to circle back to Hickok45, his entire video catalog is subject to being destroyed or taken down because of these new policy changes, and I felt that it was my responsibility, being a massive enjoyer of his channel specifically and a bunch of other GunTuber channels out there on the internet, that I don't want this to happen. And I think that my audience, if you guys are feeling the same way, if you enjoy Hickok, send YouTube an email, send them a tweet, be incredibly respectful and rational, because that's the only way things actually get done. I don't believe that giving the gun community a bad name is the best way to do it. I don't think making it a very inclusive thing. I think everyone should be able to enjoy firearms as much as they want. Okay? The end. I do believe YouTube can be reasoned with. I genuinely do believe that. I've had very good conversations with people at the company themselves, the YouTube company themselves, people within YouTube, and, you know, I think this is sort of a dark road to censorship. I don't believe censorship is as bad as people make it out to be, and I'm also not ignorant to the fact that it is an actual real thing, and doing things like this is just as bad as blatantly censoring something because you're making it impossible for someone to, you know, make a living. So I also felt that it would be smart for me to cover the situation on YouTube because Hickok's video got 1.2 million views, but has little to no traction online outside of that video. There's some small threads on Twitter, Reddit, and maybe the video comments, but people are mad and they don't seem to know where to put their energy and their effort. And I know you guys, a lot of people who watch my videos love this type of content, as do I. And if you look at Hickok's video, it's a lot of very negative reviews and a lot of people telling him to go to Rumble. Don't go to Rumble. That's not going to be a W. That's going to be an L. Don't go to Rumble, please. Please don't go to Rumble. Sneako's on Rumble. I would assume that Sneako begins his relationships by telling people he lets his girlfriend. Twitter doesn't really just to be expected. And me and freak YouTubers and gun tubers and the alt-right pipeline or whatever, all that stuff. So, but even on Twitter, the responses are still negative. Reddit, similar to YouTube, similar to Twitter, the response is negative. People are outraged by the decision. One thing I would like to point out and highlight is this specific comment that talks about how YouTube had even begun preventing
Shiny
guns
mega
on
grout
YouTube
on this guy
before
has.
the policy was officially implemented, which is f***ed up. Every year, the best range competition is held in Fort Moore, Georgia, where different regiments come to practice shooting and do teamwork trials. There's various tests to see who are the best Army Rangers. This comment pointed out that during one of their numerous live streams on YouTube, they were shut down halfway through the event due to firearms being shot while live. The competition took place in April, 2 months before the policy was even implemented. So we know that YouTube has never really liked firearms, and it now shows that they are starting to really kind of crank down on everything, which is very unfortunate, even when firearms are being used in a controlled and safe environment. Look, I mean, I get it if it's a liability, but come on! Not many people have talked about it somehow. I don't really know. This should be talked about by a lot. Every gun tuber should make a video about this, and commentary channel, to be honest. It's just nonsensical. And even if you don't like firearms, who cares, dude? Be a grown-up and wish everyone can have fun without hurting anybody else. Anyways, fellers, thanks for watching. Hopefully you all enjoyed.
Kids sleeping on the floor, pets held in tiny cages, and this entire bathroom for a family of 5. Add some teenagers who can't fit, children calling their beds coffins, and you're still just scratching the surface of the worst van life TikTokers. Take for example Red, White, and Bethune. They gained 11.4 million views by showing how terribly unspacious their kids' beds were. This should be illegal. Those kids are gonna suffer in that space, man. To make matters worse, the beds had rock climbing holds instead of a ladder, which their daughter almost fell from whilst trying to show they were easy to use.
So Molly's going to demonstrate getting in the bunk and show you just how easy it is.
How will they get down in the middle of the night when it's dark and they want to use the restroom urgently? What if they fall and hit their head? These so-called bunk beds were actually just shelves, yet the family still defended them as being spacious. At the same time, get this, the parents have a king-size bed.
The reason why we put a king-size bed in our bus is because it's our lounging area.
As well as a massive desk for editing TikToks, forcing the kids to do their schoolwork on a tiny kitchen table. If they don't help out with the van, the kids are punished publicly.
Last night, Molly chose not to do her chores, and if our kids don't do their chores, they have consequences.
Which the parents still defended even after heavy criticism.
Yes, our kids have consequences. Yes, if they don't do the chores, they're gonna have to pay.
And to the trolls, keep on talking shit, and I'm gonna keep on posting. See you guys on your For You page.
But wait, it still gets worse. Everything we've shown so far is in this bus here, yet they also have a van to take on holidays, which has even less space than the bus.
Come take a peek inside and see what we've done.
The van doesn't have a bed for everyone, meaning one of the kids sleeps on this leather chair. Maybe there'd be a bit more space if they didn't own 4 massive dogs, which are shoved in a tiny cage below the bed, yet they still have more space than the toilet. It's covered by nothing but a thin fabric sheet and sits right in the middle of where everybody lives. They call the vehicle their vancation home, meaning when the kids get tired of living in the first van, they're blessed with a trip in an even smaller one. Family of Nomads doesn't have this problem. In fact, they first went viral for how much space they had, leading to comments such as, "I don't understand why y'all don't just buy an apartment. It's way cheaper than this." People came to their defense stating, "There is literally no reason to be mad at this, except for maybe how their kids were living." They'd show their room in this TikTok, with the most notable part being that their eldest Addison was a 15-year-old teenager. You should ask your daughter how she feels that she has no privacy. At an age like hers, I'm sure she wants her privacy. Addison hates you. Just because this RV is nice and there's room for their clothes, it's no way to live. I'm sure the teenager would love to have privacy. Get her a curtain or something. Well, the family did exactly this.
We did install these curtains over each of their bunks so they have a little bit of privacy.
But it was still just one of many other problems. The kids were in a homeschool program, yet it seemed most of their education was just walking through national parks where the parents thought they'd learn about life.
Our lives are one gigantic field trip, and so a lot of what the kids do is by learning from experience. So for example, today we went to a national park and they completed the Junior Ranger program, and it's incredibly educational. They're learning history from visiting different places around the country, and days that we are not going out and exploring, they do a traditional homeschool curriculum, and then the days that we're exploring, we still count those as school as well.
So they just learn US history? Lol, when they go to college, they'll be in for a shock. Oof, that's scary. There's a reason schools aren't one giant field trip, and this is a very good point. Schools are for more than simply learning subjects. They help build social circles and prepare kids for a disciplined way of life, both of which are neglected when strolling around the country. But the kids did have other challenges, like cleaning out the rat cage that stunk out the van.
We live in a camper and our 3 kids have 3 pet rats, and I would be absolutely lying to you if I said that it does not smell bad. Usually it's the kids' job to clean the rat cage, but about once every month or two, my husband and I will clean it, and it just gets really gross.
As well as collecting firewood, as seen in Addison's day in the life. Yet people were still convinced she's gonna run away at 16, yet the mother went on to state, "I honestly don't know a single unhappy RV kid." She'd even post the following TikTok to try and convince the audience.
A lot of people ask us if the kids actually enjoy traveling full-time and living in the camper, and I will have to say that while we were at the RV show in Tampa this week, Grace and Addison both went around and looked at campers because their plan is,
I'm gonna grab a glass of milk real quick.
They want to live in a camper together and travel the country.
Until another video told
Peace.
a different story.
Addison has struggled with their mental health for many years. Addison is currently back in treatment and won't be in our content during this time. To protect Addison during this time, we would like to ask for privacy on this matter.
Perhaps the daughter was unhappy for a totally different reason, yet there was still more evidence that she despised the van.
For Addison's 15th birthday, the only thing they wanted was to go to a hotel.
The video has since been deleted, although after arriving at their hotel, twice Addison mentions liking doors in the video, a hint at them having less privacy in the camper. With conflicting messages about Addison's happiness, people commented, "I can't wait for this gen of van kids to grow up and share their thoughts with the world," although this had happened much sooner than expected. On the r/offmychest subreddit, an anonymous account made the following post. "I'm a teen in a full-time RV living vlogging family, and I can't stand it. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate being homeschooled. I hate not being able to maintain a social life. I hate having so little privacy. I hate having to pretend to be happy with this. We travel full-time. I know, it sounds like a dream. I thought so too, but it's an effing nightmare. I just want a private life, but no. They had to ruin it with their crunchy way of parenting. It's all fake, by the way. Not what I meant when I said I wanted to take acting. I'm frustrated all the time, I'm tired all the time, I'm bored all the time. Please stop supporting these channels. Stop buying into it. It's ruined my life and I can't say anything about it. In comments, the poster clarified, I'm between 15 and 17 years old, and they were the oldest of 3 siblings, hinting it was Addison from Family of Nomads. Exactly who the poster was has never been confirmed, yet only a couple of months later, the family announced they were instead buying a house. Family of Nomads recently quit van life. Their kids seemed the happiest they'd ever been, while the parents were in tears as the RV was stored away. The eldest daughter has since vanished from the videos, with an unrelated comment summarizing what van life's like for kids. RV kid here. Let me tell you, RV is hell for children. I've been living in a camper with my 3 brothers and parents, and these past 2 years have been an absolute detriment to my mental health. Yes, it's an amazing opportunity I've been given to have seen all the places that I have, but I cannot recall a single positive experience anywhere I've been. I receive little to no education, and I'm scared I won't be able to pass my GED. I'll probably be repeating high school once I turn 18. The Happy Caravan, however, clearly ignored this warning. They began by documenting their life as a family of 12 and were mostly liked by the audience until revealing they lived in a tiny apartment. Is that legal? Having so many in a 2-bedroom? Why would you make the choice to have a family of 12 but not be able to provide them sufficient room/space, although their holiday setup was somehow even worse? They'd fit the entire family into one single Airstream, gaining 12 million views by showing how they slept. The 3 daughters were on a table converted to a bed, while another 2 slept below their brother, who was sleeping in a bunk. A different brother slept on the couch, the baby in its cot, and of course the 2 parents had their own massive bed. So what about the last 2 kids? Well, they got to sleep directly on the hardwood, described as not perfect but more comfy than a tent. You have 2 kids sleeping on the floor just for vacation and we mix it up. In our YouTube video, Dad is on the floor, which by doing some digging was seemingly true. Hilariously, after being criticized, the parents magically found Enoch a blow-up mat in the closet, but for the most part the family isn't all that bad, especially compared to wild family life. They've been called the most hated van life family on TikTok, mainly for their bizarre family dynamic. The page is run by mother Nadine, who lives in a van with her 3 kids, along with both her ex-husband and her new boyfriend, who she refers to as a homeless junkie she met on the streets. According to her TikToks, they're not polygamous but live together in harmony, being able to do so because they have the biggest front yard. The criticism, however, always extends to the kids. They call their education program homeschooling, world schooling, travel schooling, adding they help whenever necessary, but they don't follow any official program.
Technically, I don't follow any curriculum, but we have this app my kids learning with. They set their times each day. They do that by themselves. There's nothing I have to do.
Help them if needed explains everything. Doomed to fail. They'd respond to the hate with the world's most hippie message.
The only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion.
Adding their kids are extremely satisfied with the life that they're living.
People think, oh, poor children. But trust me, my children, they wake up with a smile in their face. They go to bed with a smile in their face.
Yet it's perfect to finish with this comment here. When I was a child, I would have been very happy to eat nothing but candy and potato chips all day. But my mother did not let me because she knew better. It's a parent's job to do what's best for their children, not just what makes them happy.
Damn.
Sir.
That was crazy.
Joe Rogan made it seem like he was holier than holy. As a Christian youth pastor, he dedicated his TikTok to showing respect for women until 6 different people exposed him for his own secretly terrible history. You could see the red flags in early tweets like this one. I am a Christian, and I support LGBTQ, and I support BLM, and I support people of other faiths, and I support a woman's right to choose. The need to vocalize his own morality was almost strangely excessive, and his TikTok videos weren't any different. He wanted to punch all men who talked about how women dressed, while reminding his female followers that they had total control of their body. When he wasn't supporting women, it was instead minorities.
It's homophobia, racism, misogyny, you name it, all thinly veiled as a joke, and you're not fooling anybody.
Which people found suspicious long before he was exposed.
But when this dude is making almost his entire personality about respect women, always be nice to women, respect, 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 it gets a little overboard, to be honest.
When questioned about his motives, Joe Robe snapped pretentiously,
"Just imagine being so worried about losing your male privilege that you would call anything that has to do with equality for women anti-men."
Believing that when all men are killed, he'd be spared because of his TikToks. And when he did also occasionally support men,
now I've talked about men getting body shamed, women getting body shamed,
the objective was still the same. Try to make himself seem like a person who did no wrong. The caption of his merch was literally "Be Better," which seemed true to him as a church office manager and youth pastor on the weekends.
So depending on how long you've been following me, you may or may not know that I'm actually a very religious person.
People therefore heavily respected him, even making stan accounts such as Lovely Joe Robe, while comments on his live streams read, "I have so much respect for you. You speak for others and it makes me so happy." Any videos criticizing him were met with thousands of dislikes until people became suspicious of Joe Robe's supposed morality. In late 2020, a TikToker named Gemini Official was exposed for his relationships with multiple young girls. Being in line with Joe Robe's content, people asked him to talk about it, although for whatever reason, Joe Robe avoided the topic.
Messaged Joe Robe saying, "Hey, this is a problem, can you speak about it?" Which is bizarre that it would take you so long to talk about somebody who's grooming children.
Joe Robe later explained on Discord that denouncing the actions was simply too obvious, although having previously claimed the goal of his TikTok was to create a safe space for young people, it seemed odd that Joe Robe didn't want to talk about it. Perhaps he was simply avoiding drama, but this wasn't the only example where Joe Robe deflected an obvious topic. He'd become friends with a TikToker named The Calvin Brandel, whose videos promoted a similar sentiment to those made by Joe Robe. Well, turns out he'd been doing exactly what he disavowed, explaining he thought it was okay because he was TikTok famous.
I felt that with TikTok my ego was super inflated and I felt like I was invincible, I was unstoppable, I couldn't make any mistakes.
Despite having photos together on Instagram, Joe Robe avoided the situation.
"You have no problem calling out problematic men, but it seems like the problematic man is your friend and you're a little quiet."
Eventually addressing what had happened with this iconic statement.
"I'll say it again, if you groom somebody, you are disgusting, the scum of the earth."
Joe Robe, however, was doing exactly this himself.
This was somebody that I felt safe around, but I don't feel safe around him anymore because he's a groomer.
On one unassuming Wednesday, 17-year-old TikToker DillG16 uploaded the following video.
This video will be about one of the biggest hypocrites I have ever met in my life, Joe Robe. John is a disgusting and terrible hypocrite who abuses his platform by using his clout to groom and prey upon underage boys. He has done this to multiple people, including me. John first followed me whenever I had about 30,000 followers and joined my live stream and asked for my Snapchat, so I gave it to him. After Snapchatting for a few weeks, he asked me if I wanted to get an Airbnb with him on my 18th birthday, which was over 3 months away. He started to send me links to 1-bedroom Airbnbs, and he offered to purchase me alcohol if I went. And this is him talking about the 1-bedroom. He knew that I did not want to get the Airbnb, so he thought if he invited one of my IRL friends, I would want to go. That's him asking when he was going to turn 18.
And while Joe Robe was at least waiting until their 18th birthday, the group chat they shared wasn't quite so clean.
During one of the Zooms with all of my TikTok friends, it would be a good idea to have us all take a BDSM score test and send him our results. Keep in mind, the youngest was 15 years old and the oldest were 19, and there were only 2 19-year-olds and everybody else was 17 and below.
Which had happened just a month before Joe Robe's 28th birthday. DillG added one more detail before the video finished.
I found out that there are multiple people that John has groomed.
As a person named Coco then also came forward.
He started asking like different questions, like what state do you live in, and do your parents let you travel, and do you like to travel, and do I, or And he offered to buy me a room with him. He offered to buy me alcohol. This is the one quote I remember him talking to me. I may be a pastor, or I may work for God, but I'm not against kids having fun.
Whoa.
I should have realized it
right.
right.
Then there was another.
I can't go into specific details about what happened between me and Joro because it is quite not safe for work.
And another after that.
He'd also make promises about getting Airbnbs and meeting up with us. He promised alcohol and hot tubs.
Joe Robe's accusers then made a Google Doc listing everything else he'd done. He'd tried to get blank and blank to create an OnlyFans once he turned 18 and said he'd set it up for him and subscribe, also strangely bribing the group to call him hot and locking a girl who was also intoxicated out of Zoom for calling him old and refusing to call him hot. Papa Gut talked about the document in this video here, after which he'd be messaged a story worse than every other one combined. I ran a small fan account for Joe Robe on Instagram. He eventually asked for my Snapchat. He told me no one else had his Snapchat and made me promise to not give anyone it or to tell anyone what we talk about. Conversations got really weird and he sent me a lot of dirty pictures, 4 of which were included to prove he wasn't lying. I was also 14 at the time. He didn't even bother to ask how old I was or for any form of identification, but he would call me a baby a lot and would try and force me to call him daddy. To make matters worse, John's church profile explained, outside of his work at St. John, he is a private music teacher with over a dozen students, and up until recently was the activities chair for the Northern Sky District of the Boy Scouts of America. But wait until you hear why he left his previous job. Someone messaged one of the accusers, I wanted to reach out because I'm on staff at the church he used to work at. He was removed from staff over 2 years ago, and he was really upset with our church and strict protocols for working with youth, so he left to go to another church. We're currently in the process of contacting the other church and places he's at, as well as local authorities. Joe Robe's LinkedIn partially confirms the story's legit, as it shows he previously worked in the very same church as the lady who told the anecdote. Unsurprisingly, people demanded Joe Robe also lose his new job,
St. John Lutheran Church. You have some explaining to do.
with Papa Gut even calling the church directly.
This is the church that he works at. I know this because I called the church that he works at and I asked him if he works there. They said yes. I told them that they were very serious and credible allegations. They immediately hung up after they said, oh, thank you.
Despite hanging up the phone, the church quickly deleted Joe Robe from their website before iSpeak 1906 extracted an unofficial statement.
The pastor reached out and he wants to remain anonymous. However, the bishop is aware and he has been terminated and authorities have been contacted, and that's about all that we have.
But the bigger question was, how did Joe Robe himself respond? Did he make a self-aimed TikTok about his own heinous actions? Well, no. He deleted his TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, even his LinkedIn, and hasn't been heard from since. His refusal to address the 2 previous situations suddenly all made sense, while others were less surprised. It can't be real. A white knight influencer being secretly an awful person is unheard of. Not even surprised. It's always those types of men being predators, but no one was less surprised than one of Joe Robe's former friends. As someone who personally knows John Bell and lived with him at university for a year, I can assure you that he's not the good guy here, and that these accusations line up with his past behavior.
But I felt that one. I felt that Shiny's presence.
Homophobic and tried to give off this ultropious Christian facade. Nothing about his online presence was genuine. Karma is taking a toll on him, and I'm glad he's getting thrown off the internet. Before any of this happened, Vegan Teacher had stated, and it turns out her song hit a nail on the head.
You're asking for him?
Oh, that's the one you got. Damn, yeah, that's pretty good.
I mean, there was a community day for him.
We gotta go this way. There's so much shit. You know what? I'm gonna head to bed.
Yeah.
Do you wanna see if we can do something tomorrow?
Depends on what time I get up.
Depends on what time you get up.
But I'd be down 100%.
Oh, yeah,
at least for a workout or something, you know what I mean?
see anything for should I do something for what's it called?
Pokemon?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want.
I work tomorrow, but I work a little bit later at 4, so.
Okay, I'll just call you when I get up, and then we'll do something.
I'll let you know if I'm still down.
Okay, bet. At least for a workout, you down?
Yeah.
Okay, bet. I'll be down.
God.
Alright, bet. See you.